I read 6 books in the month of March, and these 2 books are my least favorite and my most favorite. And the difference between these 2 could not be more extreme. I hated one of them, and the other is my most favorite book that I have read not only this month, but this year. You guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lydia Kyle, and I'm so glad that you're here. I am a book lover, book reviewer, and book recommender. I love sharing this content with you guys. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and let me know that you're a new subscriber, and let me know in the comments what you read in the month of March or what your favorite book in the month of March is so that we can talk about it in the comments. But without any further ado, let's break these 2 down. You guys know that I like to end on a positive note, so we are going to start with the worst first. Guys, in my opinion, this book is very bad. I'm willing for other people to like it. Here's the thing when it comes to books. There's so many millions of them out there for the specific reason that I can dislike them and you can like them. That's the beauty of literature, right? It's not for everyone. But in my opinion, this book just fell so flat. This is Creatures of Chaos, and it has been all over TikTok. Okay, I have been seeing this book everywhere on TikTok. I was really, really excited about it. I was really, really excited about it. I saw the description, I read the description, and I immediately ordered it, right? I really wanted to love this book. It's a young adult dystopian fantasy. That's how I would describe it. All kinds of mythical creatures, right? We've got a young adult character stage set for us. They're kind of in like a high school type setting. All kinds of mythical creatures. We've got the shifters, we've got the vampires, everybody is there, okay? And of course, we have our underdog female main character who doesn't have any magic, and she's just overcoming it out of pure spite, right? And then she's in love secretly with her best friend who's the heir to the dragon throne, and then dark and mysterious Mr. Morally Grey comes in to the scene, right? And shakes everything up. I DNF'd this so fast, you guys. I literally already knew exactly what was going to happen in the first 30 pages of this book. The writing was incredibly lackluster, and it felt like the author was relying so heavily on the tropes of young adult romance, right? Underdog female main character who's in love with the heir to the throne, and it was so tropey. And it felt like we were using the tropes to overcompensate for the fact that, one, the story wasn't all that original, the writing really wasn't all of that great, and it just fell incredibly flat for me. Like I said, I didn't finish this one very early on. I wanted to love it. The cover's beautiful. This would be a beautiful book to have on your bookcase. I just couldn't do it. On a positive note, not only the best book that I read this month, the best book that I have read so far this year, Leigh Bardugo, She Never Lets Me Down. If Leigh Bardugo writes it, I'm going to read it, and I am most likely going to love it. The crazy thing about this, in my opinion, is that it's a standalone. Leigh Bardugo is known not only for trilogies, but series as well. Her Alex Stern, I think it's going to be a trilogy now. Originally, the Alex Stern stories were meant to be more. I think she's concised it down into a trilogy. But I mean, those are, Ninth House is one of my favorite series ever, and it's not even finished yet, okay? I love the characters that Leigh Bardugo writes. This is The Familiar. My copy says El Familiar because my copy is actually from Spain. This book is about Spain. The characters are set in Spain. It's got some historical context that is very important to Spain and really world history as well. And when we were in Spain, we went to a book market. It's called a book fair, and I found the Spanish copy of The Familiar there, and I had to have it because I read this book in anticipation to going to Spain because I just wanted something to kind of set the mood. And I love Leigh Bardugo. This book was released almost a year ago, maybe over a year ago at this point, and I held off. I wanted to read it so bad, but I knew we were going on this trip to Spain, and so I waited. I held off, and I'm so glad that I did because it really, really set the stage. So like I was saying, this has some historical context. I would describe this book as not only magical realism, but historical fantasy, right? The history in here, very real history with imagined fictional characters, right? So those two things are blending together. This is the story of a young girl who's a servant, and she has magic. And this is during the Spanish Inquisition. So it's okay to have magic as long as that magic are miracles that come from God. And the Inquisition is tasked with figuring out whether you have good magic or bad magic. And she enters a competition for the favor of the king, right? The Spanish Armada has been destroyed by the British, by the English, and everything's a little bit shaky in Spain. And she enters a contest to prove not only that her magic is from God, that it could be of benefit to Spain, but to prove that she can get the favor of the king for her own purposes. I don't want to give any spoilers. The romance in this book, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I love how Leigh Bardugo writes romance. It's subtle, but impactful. It's not super explicit, and yet it just draws you in. I love it. The male main character, Santanhel, is one of my new favorite male characters. I absolutely loved his character. I loved the lore. I loved the backstory. The writing is beautiful. And the last thing that I'll say about this, the fact that it is a standalone, a lot of times what happens with a standalone is you are left wanting more, right? It feels like I either need another book or I need another 2 pages, like it ended too quickly. I didn't like the way that it ended. A lot of times that's what can happen with a standalone book, not with this one. It ended perfectly, in my opinion. She wrapped it up with a bow and served it on a silver platter. It was beautifully done. I don't need anything more. I don't need anything less. This is how you do standalone fantasy. Leigh Bardugo, well done. There you have it, you guys. Best and worst for the month of March. If you haven't already, be sure to check out my most recent video before this one, which is my full review of everything that I read in March. I read 6 books, like I said before, and in this video, I break down all 6 of those books so that you can get a full glance at them without any spoilers, knowing what you're getting into or whether or not you would like them as well. If you've read either of the 2 books that I talked about today, let me know in the comments because I would love to know what your thoughts are. And then pop over to that other video and let me know if you've read any of the other books that I loved in the month of March. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Follow me on other platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I would love to connect with you there because I'm always sharing bookish content and sharing my love of books with you on those platforms as well. I'll see you guys back next time.